The following content is provided under a Creative Commons license. Your support will help MIT OpenCourseware continue to offer high-quality educational resources for free. To make a donation or to view additional materials from hundreds of MIT courses, visit MIT OpenCourseware at ocw.mit.edu.
So we have been talking a lot about sort of the theory of things, but I know you guys want to get into the practice. At the end of class, we have a lot of plastic elements in the back that Ceri will help you guys check out. Some cameras, mics, headphones, tripods. If you guys want to just use your iPhones for tonight's assignment, that's totally fine as well. Chris brought up a lot of really good points of just framing practicalities of filming. I do want you to consider, though, that web video breaks a lot of these rules as well. So you'll notice that SciShow doesn't do the rule of thirds framing at all. Hank Green just ends
all rules are made to be broken.
Yes, yes.
I should have mentioned
but he does that very intentionally. A lot of it is because the way his videos go, he'll look to the side and a little image will pop up. So I think part of why he does that is to leave room for some of those visuals. And Vsauce does it because he's just super up close. It's a little weird to do a rule of thirds when you're so up close because you don't have a background to get rid of so much. So don't feel like you have to adhere to a rule just because we said, you have to do this, you have to do this. Thoughtfulness is one of the values, so as long as you justify it in your reflection or in your assignment somehow, it's totally fine. So for today's assignment, in addition to the 2 readings that are online, and don't worry, they're pretty short and they're fun, we're going to have you guys make a video on basically a circus sideshow pitch about a video that you're eventually going to make for your final project. And it's okay if this ends up changing. It's just an exercise to get you guys started, to get you familiar with the camera. Don't worry about doing crazy camera moves or anything. If all you want to do tonight is just set up your tripod and mic up and deliver your pitch, that's totally fine. We just want you guys to get familiar with all the equipment. But basically, it is going to be selling an idea, a topic about science, technology, engineering, or math that should convince someone to want to watch your eventual video. And again, it's okay if you change the idea. I do want you guys to brainstorm 3 ideas in addition to the pitch video that you make. You don't have to post them online or write them down. Just have them in your head for class tomorrow, because we're going to have some very special guest speakers first thing tomorrow who will help you with these pitches. So to give you an idea of the type of thing that we're looking for, again, don't necessarily copy this video exactly.
What is the most astounding fact?
Oh.
What is the most astounding fact you can share with us about the universe?
The most astounding fact.
The most astounding fact
is the knowledge that the atoms that comprise life on Earth, the atoms that make up the human body, are traceable to the crucibles that cooked light elements into heavy elements in their core under extreme temperatures and pressures. These stars, the high-mass ones among them, when unstable in their later years, they collapsed and then exploded, scattering their enriched guts across the galaxy. Guts made of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and all the fundamental ingredients of life itself. These ingredients become part of gas clouds that condense, collapse, form the next generation of solar systems, stars with orbiting planets. And those planets now have the ingredients for life itself. So that when I look up at the night sky, and I know that, yes, we are part of this universe, we are in this universe, but perhaps more important than both of those facts is that the universe is in us. When I reflect on that fact, I look up. Many people feel small because they're small and the universe is big, but I feel big because my atoms came from those stars.
So obviously you don't have to do a super dramatic thing like Neil deGrasse Tyson did. Again, don't feel like you have to go home and contemplate on life's mysteries and how, evolution is just this beautiful thing that happens on Earth and it's an amazing thing or whatever. But the reason why I wanted to show you guys that video is because the actual plastic elements of making that were pretty straightforward, pretty simple, just 2 cameras on a tripod, nothing too crazy. But he still hopefully manages to engage you somewhat. I mean, I personally wanted to keep watching and keep learning about it. That's partially because of his persona, which some people find off-putting. So again, it's a matter of taste. But what he does here is just sort of rattle off this theme of, I think the thesis of this whole conversation that they have is that you take this misconception that we all think that we're part of the universe, but really the universe and all the things that make it up are inside of us. He has this sort of fact or nugget that he builds upon to create this bigger narrative, right? So for Science Out Loud, George and I just did an episode on snot. And the way we started it was one of my former professors here, Katerina Ribik, her lab studies mucus. And I was reading about her in Popular Science because she just got this big feature in it. And one of the facts they talked about was that your body produces over 1 gallon of mucus a day, which I thought was like, how does that happen? That's disgusting. We think of snot as the stuff that oozes out of us when we're sick and the stuff that we blow out into tissues and throw away. But actually, it's so important that our body makes over 1 gallon of it a day, and that it does more than just come out of our nose when we're sick or when we're crying, that it's doing things like providing moisture for our bodies, which doesn't sound like a big deal, right? Until you think about your body without mucus, that your eyes would dry out and you wouldn't be able to swallow because your esophagus would get ripped up every time you tried to eat something. And then you think of mucus as being more than just this sort of bodily waste that comes out of you, but really this amazing thing that takes care of you in a way that's so important that you make over 1 gallon of it a day. And that sort of became the pitch, the circus sideshow, step right up type of thing that informed the rest of our video. And so that's the kind of thing that I want you guys to be thinking about tonight and want you guys to record. Now, we very well could have had you guys just write a pitch, but I think it would be more fun to make a video. And I think it's good for you guys to get used to using the cameras and the plastic elements. So again, don't worry about, are my camera movements good enough? You don't even have to move the camera if you don't want to. Feel free to play around with it if you want. But really focus on clarity for this assignment. So set up the camera in such a way and set up the lighting in such a way that you're very clearly visible. We are going to give you these little lavalier mics, so make sure that your audio is very clear. Those are going to be the priorities for this assignment. And then make your pitch very engaging and think of 3 backup ideas just in case. Does that sound good? I had one more example too we can show you.
Hello, this is Hank Green, and welcome to SciShow. You might have noticed that I talk a lot about how great plants are, and why shouldn't I? They're autotrophs. They can harness the raw, untamed power of the sun and use it to make food for themselves. Pretty impressive. So why can't animals do it? Well, oddly enough, some of them do. And in just the past few years, researchers have been discovering animals that seem to be able to harvest sunlight for energy. Take, for instance, the eastern emerald alysia, a sea slug that looks like a big floating leaf. It lives along the east coast of the United States, where it just hangs out eating a specific kind of yellow-green algae.
So I just wanted to show you that as an example of the style and delivery. It's very different from Neil deGrasse Tyson, but again, same concept. So don't feel like you have to be Neil deGrasse Tyson. Don't feel like you have to be Hank Green and talk like this and jump back and forth between like close-up and widescreen. But hopefully that gives you an idea of what you guys need to make tonight. If you guys have any questions, I'll stick around after class, and you can always email me too. So for tonight, STEM pitch video. Ceri's going to come talk now about what that process exactly looks like. But basically, always look at the online version of the syllabus because I might tweak some things day to day, but the stuff for day 1 is totally up to date right now. You'll post your STEM pitch to Tumblr with the hashtags day1pitch and a hashtag of your Kerberos ID. So that's all the SUTD students, you guys have an MIT ID, right? Okay, so it's just your username. And then you'll post a daily blog, and that's going to happen every day, just reflections of what happened in class. If you want to take pictures during class, if you want to record video tomorrow, feel free to. Tomorrow will be a great day to record video, I'm just saying. And then there are 2 readings that I'd like you guys to annotate on Annotation Studio, which Ceri's going to show you right now as well. And then just bring 3 other pitch ideas to class tomorrow. Did everyone get the email about class time being shifted up tomorrow? So if you guys want to show up at 12:10, that would be good, because our guest lecturers are coming at 12:15, and we'll end class at 3:15 tomorrow.
This is Annotation Studio. It's on annotationstudio.org, and it's where you're going to be doing your reading assignments. So what you need to do is just go to the website, click sign up or sign in, and it's a really easy registration form, first name, last name, email. I use my MIT email, affiliation, just put MIT, and a password. And the most important thing, so you can get the assignments in the first place, is to type in the class. So you just need to do 20219, press enter, and it'll be blue to confirm that you're in it. Read and accept the terms of service, check that box, and register. And so I'll show you what it looks like. So this is what you'll see when you sign in. You won't have any created documents, but you'll have assigned documents. The 2 that we want you to read and annotate are the first 2. You can't make it on YouTube anymore, and this will revolutionize education. You'll click on it, and it'll bring you to the document itself. So for example, this is the first one. And you'll just be able to read along and highlight it and add in your thoughts as you go along. So for example, you're reading about Hank Green and how he was invited to New TV Live. I was starting my own online media conference. And maybe you're thinking, well, what is that? So you can say, well, does anyone and then add some tags. I don't know what tags really do, but then everyone can see that annotation and who did it. And I'm not sure because we haven't played around with the software too much, but you probably will be able to comment on each other's annotations. So if for some reason someone poses a question like this and someone knows the answer, it's VidCon, then they can respond. You can add pictures, you can add links, and it's just really handy because then you can see people's idea flows as they go through the document.
Just so you guys know, we're grading the annotations just on a 3-point scale. If you put effort into it, if you put marginal, if you did it at all. Don't feel like you have to spend hours and hours on this. These readings are pretty fun. I mean, one was posted on Medium, which is it's not like a super dry academic platform, and the other one's a YouTube video. So just respond honestly. Don't feel like we're expecting, huge analyses of these, but we do want to see you guys reading it and taking it in well.
Okay, the other thing I was going to show you guys, how many of you have used Tumblr before as a platform? Okay, so a couple. So that's going to be our main blog, I guess, for this class. I've sent you guys all an email invitation to join the website and be able to use it. This is what the main website looks like. You should have already looked at it earlier today. The main things are that there are links on this top bar to the Stellar, which we probably won't use, Annotation Studio, and an Ask box. And so I'll be on the Tumblr monitoring it all the time, so you can ask questions there. There's lists of all our Kerberoses, so we'll organize our posts with your MIT ID. Then it's also organized so you can look at specific assignments like day 1 daily blogs and things like that, which are all sorted and dependent on you guys tagging your posts correctly. And there's also reference material. This bottom tab on the left sidebar is probably most useful for you guys. I can't scroll down right now because there aren't enough posts, but it has things like lists of all the assignments that Elizabeth will post, answered questions, and a how to use Tumblr and upload videos on YouTube, which I'll go through hopefully really quickly so you guys don't have to stay too long. For those of you who haven't used Tumblr, when you log in, when you accept the invitation to join the blog, it'll look like this. This is your dashboard. I have multiple accounts, and so if you have multiple accounts, you have to go up here, choose MIT 219, and this is going to be exactly what your dashboard is going to look like. So from here, you can make different types of posts. We're probably going to use two most often, text and a video. So for a text post, you just click text post. You can give it a title, put something in the body, and we request that you tag things with specific names depending on the assignment. So Elizabeth gave examples of what we want you to do for your daily blogs, which is day 1 or whatever day it is, and your MIT Kerberos. So for example, if this was my daily blog for today, I would type in day 1, enter, and then my Kerberos, which is C. Riley. And it'll be different for your video that you end up uploading to the site. And you can include images in this. You can include other things like links if you need be, if you find that's necessary to your blog. And click post, and then you should be able to see it right here on your dashboard, and also on the website if you go click there. Okay, so if you're making a video post, how many of you have any of you uploaded a video to YouTube before? Okay, this is more familiar.
There would be a way to just upload direct video files to Tumblr, right?
There is, but there's a 5-minute limit per day.
So for tonight's assignment, if you just want to upload your raw video file to Tumblr, that's totally fine. But eventually, for some of the drafts, you may need to upload to YouTube.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go through this really briefly. YouTube.com. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube account automatically. They're linked because Google owns everything. Just click upload in the upper right-hand corner. Select files to upload. I have an example video that I shot this morning. Okay, so here you have basic information. You can choose a title, a description, and this is you can tag it with anything you want. This is the key part, I think, to YouTube, is how you want to upload it. So public means anyone can search it through the search bar, through Google searches, it'll be available to the public. Private means you have to enter certain email addresses, and those are the people who can access it using their Gmail accounts. I like doing unlisted personally because then if you have the link to the video, you can access it, but if you don't have the link to the video, you can't see it. It's a way that it keeps like my draft videos like this one, no one will want to watch it. 8 seconds of me talking to a phone camera. Private enough from like the rest of the world, but you can still post the link places like the Tumblr and have it be accessible. So I like unlisted, but you can do whatever you want with your videos. So you saw that the video uploaded, and then it takes a little time to process, and that's just YouTube doing things so that it can be played. That's my video. Now it's available. The processing is really quick because it was 8 seconds. And to upload it on Tumblr, just copy the URL or the embed code. Make a video post, paste it in here. There's no thumbnail yet because I haven't chosen one. YouTube sets one automatically after a couple minutes. I can tag it with day 1 and my username and set a caption. And post it. And it will appear on my dashboard and on the website. So this is just like the general process. Under the References tab on the Tumblr, there's more detailed if you forget any of these steps or you're having any trouble, or feel free to email me at any time and I can help troubleshoot any steps of this process. If you prefer Vimeo, you can also upload it there and just paste in the URL if you already have a Vimeo account or something like that.
So I know we held you guys to the last possible minute, so we'll let you go ahead and go. If you need any equipment tonight, Ceri and I will stick around and check out stuff to you that you can keep for the month. If you want to just use your iPhone tonight, that's also fine. Just make sure you're lit well enough and we can hear you well enough for tomorrow. And if you have any questions,